Speaking of that, looking back inward at home, we're in this rare sliver of time where Democrats have unified control of government in the House, the Senate, and the White House, and yet our agenda has been moving slower than we would have liked. What's your message to Democrats who say that our elected officials can't deliver, and so what's the point of showing up to vote?
Well, two things. One, I think the biggest impact on the psychology of the country has been COVID. Almost 1 million Americans have died of COVID. And so I think it's hard for people to get their arms around the fact that we have the fastest growing economy in 40 years. Wages are actually up, not down. Unemployment is the lowest it's been. It's it's just incredibly low, and it's around in the 3-point range. We find ourselves in a position where it's hard to fully appreciate that when you wake up in the morning and wondering out whether or not your uncle, aunt, mother, father, son, daughter who has COVID are going to be okay. And as Vivek Murthy, the Surgeon General, points out, I think one of the significant things we're going to find 10 years from now is a phenomenal negative psychological impact that COVID has had on the public psyche. And so you have an awful lot of people who are, notwithstanding the fact that things have gotten so much better for them economically, that they are thinking, but how do you get up in the morning feeling happy? Right. Happy that everything's all right, even though your job is better, even though you have more income, and then on top of that, because of COVID, supply chains have been so interrupted that now you have inflation. And inflation is, for example, 1/3 of all inflation a month ago was the price of automobiles. Well, why did they get so high? They don't have those little computer chips. So they don't, we invented them here in the United States when we went to the moon. We don't make them much anymore. We're starting to now. But what happens is where they're made in parts of Southeast Asia and Taiwan and other places, and we don't get them to us quick enough and can't get there, everything slows up. In the same way with, you have from Ukraine to Russia, wheat and all those products. The generic point is that I think that we're gaining control of that. We're gonna get there, but it really is disquieting for people. But I can tell them that hope is on the way. We have more tools now to deal with COVID than we've ever had. I've ordered millions of pills, over 20 million pills that Pfizer come up with. Even if you haven't had a vaccination and you get COVID, you take the pill, you're not going to go to the hospital. And shots in arms and the ability to have boosters. And so I think we're going to see things changing, but it's difficult, especially for people who have get up in the morning, sit down to breakfast, and sit across from an empty chair.